And I'm going to get the math flip chart open up today, and I'm going to let Miss Weibel take over and see if I can share my screen. All right, here we go.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about multiplication and division, the relationship between the two of them, which is why we have the Mickey and Minnie Mouse holding hands, because they're in a relationship. Okay, who wants to read the goal? Actually, I'm just going to call on somebody. Jay, read the goal for me, please.
Our goal today is to be able to solve division problems by using the relationship between multiplication and division.
Yep, so we're going to use that relationship to help us have a different strategy for solving division and multiplication problems. Okay, so here we have two equations. We have 7 times 6 equals 42, and 42 divided by 6 equals 7. What do you notice about these two equations? Michael.
And Clay, too.
That the multiplication answer that they got is higher and the division one is lower.
That's true.
Okay, so you notice so you're saying you notice the product is larger than the quotient. Okay.
And I also noticed that the 7 times 6 and the 42 divided by 6 equals 7. I noticed that all of these numbers are the same.
There you go. Yeah, they have the same numbers in each equation. So here we have the 6. Here we have the 6. 7. 7. They're just in different places, right? So 42 divided by 6 equals 7, and 7 times 6 equals 42. So that's important to see that these are going to have a connection. We're going to use that to help us solve problems. Okay, how can we represent these equations in a drawing or model? So kind of maybe think about that chart and what we've done before. Looking at 7 times 6, I'm going to make 7 circles. And I'm going to put 6 dots in each circle. Okay, so that's how I'm looking at this equation right here. I made 7 groups of 6, and if I counted every single one of these dots, that would equal 42. Now I can also use this same model to look at the division problem below, because we're using the same numbers. So 42 divided by 6, I took my total of 42 dots, and I put 6 in a group. And if I put 6 in a group, then I would have 7 groups, right? Okay, so that's how I can represent a different equation, the division and the multiplication, using the same method, okay? Okay, so we can flip division equations into multiplication to help us solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when the chart is also really important. This has been important throughout these lessons. The chart is super helpful if you use it. So someone tell me what multiplication equation would go with this problem. And how do you know? Somebody go, or I'm just going to call on somebody.
18 divided by 6 equals
Hold on, don't tell me the answer.
So
Not the answer. Sorry.
I would start with the chart.
So look at these two numbers that we have. Look at our 18, okay? Thinking about our chart down here, where would we put 18?
total.
Yep, good job. 18 would go in the total. And then where would you put the 6?
Number of in either spot.
CJ, sorry, a couple people. Somebody said number of groups. CJ, you said either spot. Why does either spot work?
Because it's not a story problem.
Good job. So I heard someone say number of groups, so we'll just put it there, but you're right, we can put it in either spot. So the one place we don't have is the objects per group. So how can I use these numbers in here and write it in a multiplication equation rather than a division equation? So our total is going to be 18. Right? So I'm flipping it around. I move the 18. What would I put on this side of the equal sign?
6.
Yep, and one spot's going to be blank because we don't know that answer. So we're going to say 6 times something equals 18. Okay? And that's how we can kind of flip it around and make it a multiplication problem. And then if you know your multiplication facts really well, then you can know what goes in that blank and you can make it a multiplication equation. So what would go in that blank?
3.
Yep, 3 would go in that blank. Okay, so now we're going to look at 48 divided by 8. And we're going to do the same thing we did in the last slide and make the multiplication sentence. So we're going to use our chart because we love our chart a lot. And we're going to put our numbers in here and we're going to figure out how to make it into a multiplication sentence. So where's 48 going to go, Alejandro? Where am I going to put 48 in this chart?
The number of groups.
Not the number of groups. Ania, where am I going to put it in this chart?
Total.
Yep, we're going to put it in the total. And I don't know why I just wrote 18.
It's on the last one.
Just ignore that. Okay, where am I going to put the 8? Clay. Clay, where am I going to put the 8?
You will put the 8. Wait a minute. Try. I get this. Since it's not a story problem, you can put it objects per group or numbers per group.
Yep, we can put it in either one because it's not a word problem. So which one do you want me to put it in, Clay?
Numbers per group.
Objects per group.
Objects per group?
I meant number subgroups, but that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
It could go in either one. Okay, and then how would I turn this around using my chart to make it a multiplication sentence instead of a division sentence? Where am I going to put my 48? Guadalupe, where am I going to put my 48?
Number of groups.
No, so I'm going to make a multiplication sentence. So here, without the numbers, we would have something times something equals something. Where would I put my 48 in here?
In the equal.
Yep. Right here. And then I know one more number and I can put it on either side of this multiplication sign. So I'm going to put it right here. And now who knows what would go in that blank? What times 8 equals 48? Eric, what times 8 equals 48?
Wait, what? Okay, wait, what?
48.
8 times what equals 48?
Yep, that's what I said.
I think it's 8 times 4?
Nope. Someone help him. Just unmute and tell me.
6.
6. 6. Oh no.
Okay, so 8 times 6 equals 48. So like I said before, this can be really helpful if you're really good at your multiplication facts, okay? Okay.
I think I got that wrong. I think. Okay.
Okay, so what can I do to represent this problem? So visually, what can I draw to represent this problem? Can you guys go grab your whiteboards, please, and do this? We're gonna do it together. 3, 2, 1, go grab your whiteboards right now. Show me you have them. Show me on your camera. I saw Henry had his. Cynthia's got hers.
Yeah, we're doing like what we've been doing. That's a free 2 points as long as you do it. So show us on your whiteboards a way to represent 8 times 6 equals 48 using your whiteboard. And we're going to give you 3 minutes, then we're going to have us show you what you did. You get a free 2 points for doing it. If you don't have a whiteboard, you can use paper and a pen or a marker or whatever you got sitting by you. 3 minutes, go. You got like 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Mamá no se borra también.
Something's not quite right.
30 seconds. All right, go ahead and hold up your boards or paper and show us what you got done. Show us what you got done. Even if you didn't get it quite finished all the way, just show us what you were starting to do so we can take a look. See that you're doing the work and participating. All right, good deal. So let's see, I'm gonna try to find Denise, can you unmute and talk us through what you did to represent that problem?
So I did 6 whole groups.
So 6 circles?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
And then I did 8 dots inside of them.
Inside of just one of them, or what'd you say?
I did 8 dots inside the whole groups.
Inside each one of them?
Yeah.
All right.
Denise, how could you check and make sure that that drawing actually represents the sentence? How could you check and make sure that your drawing actually showed the equation? Because you already know there's 6 groups and you put 8 in each group. What part have you not counted to make sure it's correct?
So I counted the part that like is correct. It was
So Denise, what I'm getting at is you should make sure you count all the dots then too at the end and make sure that they actually add up to 48 total ones so that you make sure your drawing represents the picture, right? If you know you did the number of groups and you did 6 groups and 8 per group, then double check and make sure you had 48. You did, so you did it well. You did it well. Good job.
Okay, so you guys are gonna do this one on your own. It's 49 divided by 7. So what I want you guys to do first is write this in the form of a multiplication problem without the answer. So something times something equals something. Fill in the 49 and the 7 and then show it to us.
So what we're saying is based on the division sentence, we should see something times blank equals whatever the answer is as a multiplication sentence. So we want you to write it on your whiteboard. What would be the multiplication sentence without filling in the blank that matches this division sentence? When we see that, we're going to ask you to go ahead and draw. So show us your board. Then we'll call out your name and you're good to go ahead and start trying to draw it and find your answer. So write down the multiplication equation that would go with it and then show it to us, and then we'll let you go start working on the problem. Good, Jay, go. Derek, I think that was right. You can go ahead and start.
wait, what did we do now?
CJ, keep that part blank, CJ, but then go ahead and make the representation. Yeah, we just want to see, can you flip it into a multiplication equation with one of the blanks?
What do I do now?
Go ahead, Corbin. Then go through and draw it to solve the problem. Go ahead, Corbin. That's good. Thank you. Cynthia, that's good. Go ahead and solve the problem.
Huh?
You go ahead
49
and solve the problem. Figure out what should go in the blank. And yeah, you should.
Oh, solve it?
Yep, solve it. And yeah, you should already know what it equals at the end, right? What does it equal at the end? So you have 7 times blank equals. Clay, flip that into multiplication. So it would be 7 times blank equals what? Good, Alejandro. Go ahead and solve it. Thank you. You're not doing 49 times 7, Clay. You already know your total, right? So our equation, okay, Corbin, draw a picture to show how you would solve that. I'm gonna have Miss Weibel write down what the multiplication sentence should be, and then I'll let you guys go. We'll let you go ahead and try to solve it and find the answer. So if we knew our total and we knew one of the groups, or either the objects per group or the number of groups, we would know that it's 7 times a number we don't know equals a total of 49. So now we want you to go ahead and find that. So what would be in the blank? We're going to give you 2 minutes to figure out what would be in the blank, and then we're going to have somebody come back and tell us what they did to solve it. Okay, we're going to give you 2 minutes.
me. Okay. I'll mute myself.
I'm noticing Guadalupe using her whiteboard to solve. Corbin, don't hold it up yet because we want people to do it on their own. Thank you, though. I'm noticing Guadalupe used her whiteboard to solve the problem. I noticed CJ did that. Henry, put it down. Guys, don't hold it up yet because we give people time to solve it. But thank you, Henry. I see that you did a picture to solve it. I see Ivory working hard to solve his problem. I can tell Jonathan is using his whiteboard to solve the problem. Thank you, Jonathan. Looks like Jay's working hard too. Thank you. Noticing Eric start to work to find his. Thank you, Eric. Guys, got about 1 more minute. We'll skip the last one since they did this one on their own. All right, let's come back together. And who would like to share with us what you did to find your answer? CJ, go ahead.
To find my answer, I drew seven circles.
Big H. Okay, what's next?
And I drew 1 dot in each circle going until I had 49.
Okay, so tell me now, CJ, did you already know 7 times what equals 49?
Yeah.
Okay, so why is it helpful to be able to flip division into multiplication?
It's helpful because it's easier if you know your multiplication. All you have to do is know what. So if the question is 49 divided by 7, I know that 7 times 7 equals 49. So if you just flip it, then you'll get 7 times 7 equals 49.
Yeah, you can use the multiplication fact. And so drawings are great if that's what you need to do to solve the problems. But if you know your multiplication facts, a perfect explanation for how did you solve 49 divided by 7 would be, I know 7 times 7 equals 49. So I know 49 divided by 7 equals 7. That saves you so much time. That's why it's kind of important. I know sometimes it seems silly that we try to memorize our math facts and do those time math facts tests, right? But if you know your multiplication facts, you can use them to help you solve division questions. And so the more we work on this relationship between the two things, the more it's going to help us be able to do these problems more quickly rather than do a drawing every time. Go ahead, Mrs.
Mr. Hoffman, did we send home those triangle fact sheets
They did go home in the
summer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys should all have these fact family triangle sheets that look like this, okay? What you should do, if you don't know your multiplication facts, is you cut all of these on the dotted line, and then to learn your facts, let's say we're talking about let's look at the fact family for 15. It's hard for me to even see this. See, for 15, you cover one of the facts with your finger, and then you say, I know that 15 divided by 3, like the big number has a star on it. I know that 15 divided by 3 is, what is it? Oh, let me see. I think it's 5. Oh, yes, I'm right. Or you could say 5 times 3 equals 15. So you put your finger over one of the numbers so that you could practice. The one with the star is always would always be your, it would be your quotient, right? In a division, or no, it would always be your, like, they're your big number, right? So you have 30 divided by 5 would be 6, 15 divided by 3 is 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay? Your dividend and your divisor. Sorry, the big number would be your dividend.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, guys? And that way you could practice, and then you don't have to make all your circles. You all have these papers. Sorry.
I use a different one.
You could use a different one if you want, but this is just easy. It's instead of having separate multiplication flashcards and separate division ones, it's all in one place.
I use like a big sheet.
Okay. Whatever works for you is great. But these are like fact families.
Thank you, Mrs. Fleischer. Yep, you guys got those. If you haven't found them, go back and look through that baggie you got at supply pickup, because that's where those are. Your job today is we're going to have a quick little discussion for you to do about multiplication and division. I want to open it up and talk to you about your job really quickly, and what it is expected that you do today. So I'm going to go back to, let's see, our Canvas page. And if you go to Canvas and you go to, I don't want bad gateway. Let's try this again here. Let's try going to clicking here. Technology, y'all. All right, so Hoffman's Heroes, math, and then Wednesday and math. So if you go to the discussion, there's a couple parts you need to do on the discussion, okay? So it says there's 2 parts. The first one says describe the relationship between multiplication and division. So you need to let us know about how are they related, and how can you use one of them to solve problems for the other. Then the second part says after you describe the relationship for the solve the following 2 problems, then explain how you could use multiplication to solve it. So you're going to talk about the relationship, solve number 1 and number 2, and then discuss how to solve them. You need to respond to some of your classmates, okay? At least 2, if not more. We're doing well on the assignment pieces. The discussion part, we don't always follow those expectations. So remember, stay on topic and respond to 2 of your classmates, all right? That is your job when you work on math today. That's your only job, so you should have plenty of time to go in and do some Dreambox lessons today before you go and eat lunch and do the recess part, because you have an hour, and it should not take an hour to solve the 2 problems, and then that means you're done, okay? So when you finish this, do not go from this to submitting your writing and your social studies and all that by 11:30, okay? You have all afternoon. Do this, then do Dreambox before you go and do the other things. I should see everyone has at least 1, if not 2 Dreambox lessons done today. All right, that's your job.